Okay, good morning class. Welcome to American Culture course. And then this is our third meeting. And today the goal of our learning is you will be able to examine what factors influence American culture due to their immigration. Okay, as we have discussed in the class in the last meeting, that most people came to America between the 15th or 18th century, and then it is around 20 millions in the 19th century and 55 million in the 20th century. Okay, and then most people came again to the United States, and then after the World War II, uh, the American immigration laws became more complex. So it is not as easy as before for people to work and live in the United States. Okay, and then as you know, we have discussed that most people came to the state for religious or political liberty because in Europe they found so strict rules, and then they want to find liberty, freedom in the state. And some immigrants came to the state for better life because in their life before they came to the state they were poor enough, and they tried to find a way to be well. Yeah, and then the last, of course, because of ethnic differences, maybe they felt like minority in the Europe, and then they came to the state because in the state they found more opportunity to live freely and then without get any restriction. Okay, and then some pro-immigration rules has been concerned by George Washington and then also President John Tyler. Tyler said that the people of other countries to come and settle among us as a member of our rapidly growing family. Of course, this made people and also encourage people to come again to the state. And when the number is growing fast and the government made any other policy, they try to attempt restriction to immigration. Okay, first the attempt is affected only on slaves. Some refuse to consider immigration in the 20th century, and then 50,000 slaves were imported into the United States before slavery was finally abolished in 1865. And then the second restriction is not only about African American slaves, but also Chinese laborers. So, although a few Chinese had come in the 1780s, sustained Chinese immigration occurred first in the California gold rush, and then after a brief period of acceptance, they began to be attacked by many whites, as first verbally and then often fatal mob violence. And then between 1901 and 1914, around 13 million immigrants entered the States. Okay, and then mostly came from the Eastern and Southern Europe, with people from Italy and the Russians and Austro-Hungarian Empire predominating. Also, there are Jewish immigrants, and then they came from Germany. They have their own culture, unique culture, acculturation, Germany culture and Jewish. And then uh, also we have Polish immigrants, and because there are a lot of number of immigrations, the government again make an attempt to reduce immigrations. we can see this one happen in the period of President Roosevelt. And then, because of all of the people came from many parts of the world, came to the state, and they have different culture, there is cultural transformation in the state. The mass migration of Europeans from the 1850s to the 1920s had brought a fast cultural transformation. Similar changes were being wrought by the newcomers from Asia and Latin America who have dominated immigration since the late 1950s. Although the late 20th century was more open to cultural change than was the late 19th, similar nativistic reactions directed chiefly against Hispanic migrant and their descendants were on the rise. And all of this fitted very nicely into the multiculturalism of the United States. Large numbers of Asian Americans, long confined to the lowest ranks on the American ladder success, had made a more important breakthrough.